When you leave your mind alone, it will leave you alone. It's a very simple quote, basically just talking about the non-stop thinking that you go through on your daily life, the non-stop emotional patterns, thought patterns, the constant suffering, feeling like your mind won't leave you alone. But if you just follow the quote, the simple quote daily, that if you leave your mind alone, it will leave you alone, and truly like understand it, not understand, but understand it, because understanding is more of like the mind. The mind can't even really understand spiritualism. It can't understand Zen. It can't understand the present moment. It can only live in time. It can only live in duality. And when I say the quote, if you leave your mind alone, it will leave you alone, because I talked about this quote on TikTok, right? It was actually one of my most viewed videos. It did really well. People think, like, your immediate reaction is to think like I'm talking about like psychology, like the term repression, suppression, like pushing down your thoughts, like just doing things to like keep the thoughts away, to not confront your thoughts. But as you know, the art of Zen spiritualism is to see your thoughts, view your thoughts, but not to do anything with them, to completely accept them, not to worry about how you became that way, why you started thinking the thoughts that you started thinking, what environment did you grow up in that caused you to be this way. That is useful. And if you feel like you need professional help in that area, like speaking to a psychologist, speaking to a therapist, go right ahead. Healing is not bad, but it's not really what spiritualism is. Spiritualism is just remembering that you are not the mind, that you are the soul, you are beyond finite, you are infinite. You are this infinite being experiencing yourself. It's not you that is experiencing the universe or that is experiencing spirituality. It's spirituality, Zen, in the universe, or God, whatever you want to call it, experiencing you as an infinite being. Leave your mind alone and it will leave you alone. Think of your mind as a gas tank, and you, the consciousness, the awareness, the soul, you as the fuel. Because your mind only gets energy from the consciousness. And as you progress on your spiritual journey, you'll realize that you are the one in the driver's seat. The soul is the one in the driver's seat, not the mind, not the body, right? That is what self-mastery is, but that's a whole nother conversation, right? Let's just stay on this one. Think of your mind as the gas tank and you as the fuel. The more that you focus on your mind, the more gas that you're giving to the gas tank. Right? And if you look at your mind as like a speedometer, right? The more that you focus on a thought, the more that you give attention to that thought, the more that you're like pushing down on the gas pedal harder and harder. And that's just going to make the speedometer go zzz, and it's just going to stay up there. But when you take your foot off the gas pedal, or when you stop putting gas in the gas tank, eventually the car will slow down. It will start to slow down. I hope it's not flipped. I hope it's showing the right way. I think it is. The car will start to slow down, and it will take a while for the car to completely stop. But you're just the bubble awareness around the thought, right? You're not pushing against it. You're not pushing for it, and you're not trying to resist it, because resistance is where pain comes. Resistance is when suffering comes. Resistance to what is suffering in this moment is caused by the mind, because the mind only will bring up thoughts of where it wants to be or where it doesn't want to be, right? That's where anxiety is. Where it wants to be is like stress, right? You're in this moment, but you want to be in the future. Anxiety is you're in this moment, but you're afraid of what's going to happen next. And then there's depression, which is just you're in this moment, but you're focused on your mind, focusing on the past, your regrets, your guilts, which you wish you would have done different, right? The mistakes that you have made. Eventually, the car will stop. I'm gonna give you another example. Let's say you have a wheel. The wheel is spinning. It's your mind thinking. And don't get me wrong, the mind is always thinking. And this is why I say, like, start meditating every single day, because meditation is just the practice of taking your focus off of your mind and putting it onto something else. It's the foundation of your true self. It's just being in this present moment. It's if you take all the new age, all the concepts from it, and all the new age like drama and all the fairy tale nonsense, spirituality, meditation is all just focusing on something other than thought. That's all it is, right? You don't have to be a spiritual person, which spirituality is not a personality type. And I'm encouraging you to let go of your identities and transcend beyond your identities. But if you don't want to do that, if you want to keep your identity, just meditate and take your focus off your mind. But back to the analogy. Let's say you have a wheel and it's spinning, right? And it's your thoughts, right? That represents the wheel spinning. And you are like the human next to the wheel, right? That's the soul. The more that you focus on the wheel, it's like you're spinning it. You just keep hitting the wheel over and over. It's making the wheel like continue to spin. It's spinning even faster now, right? Or you may even try and spin it in the other direction, but that's just going to keep it spinning in an attempt to slow it down. That's resistance. That can be looked at as resistance to whatever your mind is saying, doing, feeling, thinking, whatever the world is saying, feeling, doing, and thinking, whatever, your partner is saying, feeling, doing, thinking, parents, whatever relationship situation, whatever your boss is saying, thinking, doing, or feeling. When you take your hand off the wheel and you just allow the wheel to spin out, it will take time for the wheel to completely go until it's like dead stop. Like it's at a dead stop. It'll take a minute for it to be at a dead stop. But you're just sitting there. You're just sitting there viewing the wheel spinning. Right? And you're kind of like curious about the wheel, but not in like I'm desperate. Like I'm in this bad way. How do I learn about my childhood traumas and how do I learn about my mind so I can finally become free of it? That's just the mind. The mind wants to figure things out. You as the soul, you are just complete acceptance. And you don't even have to listen to your mind. The mind, 99.999995% of the thinking that humans do daily is useless thinking. And you already know from earlier in this video, the mind never stops thinking. You just take your focus off of the mind and to your first person perspective, it's going to look like the thinking has slowed down. But thinking is just like digestion. It's just like the heart beating. It's not going to stop just because you stop focusing on it. It's like, right? Breathing. You're always breathing. Even when you're incessantly scrolling on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, the mind is always going to be thinking. You're just there. You're just a bubble of awareness around the thoughts. You don't have to do anything with the thoughts. Which is why I say, when you leave your mind alone, it will leave you alone. There's nothing more, nothing less. It's just, you're neutral with the mind is a good word. But even you get to a point where it's even beyond neutral. It's just, I am. And there's not a phrase in this life that is deeper than I am. Because it's something the mind cannot understand, even though I'm using concepts to help you understand. Because language is rooted in duality. I know I'm getting off topic, but I'm a yapper, right? Which is why I want to be a professional yapper. How about that? Whew. That's my video, man. Slow down. You don't have to judge the mind because that's the mind judging itself. Don't resist it. Spend some time in silence. Spend some time in solitude. Spend some time on your living room couch and just meditate. If you don't know how to meditate, I've made videos. I may put a link somewhere up here on the card. It's my video on how to meditate. Watch that. Learn how to meditate. I have guided meditations on this channel. There's other YouTubers who have guided meditations out there that are pretty good. So, with all that being said, we growing, we moving, and we locked in. Subscribe, like, comment, do what you know how to do. Love you. Mwah.